1, 2, 3. And hello, everybody. Welcome, Sting TV. We are at Wasatch High School. Thanks for joining us. This is the Wasatch Wasps hosting Provo Bulldogs. This is Region 8 basketball, and we are underway. Both teams tonight, region play. This is the first time around playing each other, basically the second round of Region 8 play. And both teams know each other. Both teams playing tough, playing all teams tough. Everyone seems to be pretty close in the region. But right now, Provo with an 0-3 region record. Wasatch 5-2. Pretty sure that record's not correct, but Provo getting their first shot at offense here. First three-point attempt of the game is off, and Wasatch will take over. We thank you for joining us here on Sting TV on this snowy winter night here in Heber City. And the atmosphere definitely a little different. I'm Brent Martindale here with Corey Lang. Corey Lang, the director of Sting TV, working with the students tonight. Super busy. He'll be with us in just a few minutes. But the atmosphere a little different tonight because, yes, students, a few students allowed in the gym. So you have students, you have parents, and definitely a few more students than might have even expected. But both teams with their younger JV sophomore teams watching. There's the first bucket of the game by the Bulldogs. That's Juan Camargo. We'll talk just a little bit about Camargo here in just a bit. Wasatch takes over, just starting under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Starters on the floor. That's a long three-pointer. Holy cow. Came from Duchesne County. That's the first bucket of the night for the Wasps. Jackson Anderson. Anderson leading the Wasps in scoring the last couple of games. And there's a three-point from the big guy, Camargo, just off. Wasatch Hughes thinking about pushing for a fast break, but then he pulled it back. And there's the first turnover of the night. Like I mentioned, Brent Martindale here with Sting TV with Corey Lang, the director of Sting TV. And Corey's with us now. Corey, first chance, second chance you get to see this Provo team play, correct?
Yes. They're very active and lengthy. Like long arms, long, they use that very well. They run, so their bigs, I anticipate their bigs having a little bit of an advantage here tonight on ours. But we'll see, as with every advantage, there's a disadvantage, and see who can force the other one's hand in playing their kind of game, and see if Provo can take advantage of that. With both teams are coming out ready to shoot and ready to play tonight.
Yeah, both teams firing.
And I think part of that is having, like as you mentioned, having that student body and a little more of a crowd in here tonight. There's a different energy and noise for sure.
Definitely a different energy, that's for sure. That last bucket for Wasatch was Windsor. Got that soft J shot right from the side. Wasps up 5-4 early here in the first 3 minutes of this game. When these two teams met back on January 5th at Provo, Wasatch came out with a 54-44 victory. It was actually closer than that.
I remember watching it. It was
beautiful pass that time by Windsor. And Colin Hughes gets his first bucket of the night. Wasatch up 7-4.
I think both teams have that opportunity right there because they both like to come and trap and put extra pressure. If they can find that where that pressure is coming from and find that open man.
Big three-pointer.
And if you shoot like that, it'll be a great night for you.
That's McKay Robert for Provo High School. plays down low and apparently shoots the three.
That's tough. It's really hard to guard when your guy can go in or bring him out. Looks like
Big, beautiful post play there.
Yeah, test him in the paint a little bit.
Anderson playing like a 6'4", making the post move.
Wasatch likes to do that. They do different post ups. They'll bring a guard down and post you up with the guard. They'll and take your big man out.
Provo getting some good shots down low.
They are.
Another three-point attempt, no good.
Which opens up those outside ones as a more open look.
3-point early right there by Hughes. Had a good look. Just off the front. Provo takes over. The Bulldogs led in scoring by their big scorer. One of the top scorers in the state is Castagnato. There's a big steal. You got 2-on-1 opportunity here. Jackson Anderson almost gets that. A follow-up offensive board and shot. No good, and Provo will take over. A missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
By Wasatch.
Those are tough. You want to capitalize every one you can, and some are easier than others. You definitely don't want to miss out on opportunities like that.
Castagnato for Provo holding the ball there and apparently got his hand slapped. And Jackson Anderson will have his first foul of the game. Castagnato, as we mentioned a minute ago, one of the state leaders in 5A, averaging 23.3 a game. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that. Juan Camargo averaging 15 points a game. So Provo with two explosive scorers. After that, it does drop off just a bit, but it looks well-rounded for the Bulldogs. Provo will take over under their own basket. And there's Camargo, big 6'7".
It looked a little bit rushed. Yeah, I felt like if he would have just slowed down a little bit and got it composed, he still would have got that shot over Magnuson, but looked a little rushed. And I think that's just them playing each other out and trying to size each other up a little bit.
Jackson Anderson.
Big three in the first here.
Anderson already with 7 points, 7 of the 11 points for Wasatch. And as we mentioned, Anderson has led the team the last couple of games in points scored. A big night the other night at Salem. We'll talk about that. Very exciting game. There's Camargo. Post move strong.
He's getting to the spot they want him at, right in front of the rim, 3 or 4 feet out, and utilizing. I would like to see him go chest to chest with that guy instead of fading away with that size.
Yeah, it looked like a little fadeaway there. Yep.
Now he got the contact on the arm, so he gets the call, and he was able to finish it. But man, I'd love to see him just step into the rim and finish underneath the net.
That's a 6'4". No, excuse me, 6'7". Camargo fading away on the 6'1".
Yeah.
Windsor.
We're going to do that shot again, as I believe they called Garrett Windsor with a lane violation.
Yeah, either way, that is for sure being shot again.
Which is interesting.
Very.
Because I saw him step back, not forward, but ref's a lot closer and has better eyes than me.
Couldn't hear an official ruling from the PA announcer, so we're going to assume for sure that's what that is. Camargo completes the 3-point play, and it's 11-10. Wasatch with the slim lead. Here's the post play down low.
And that's the strength of Cole, muscle big inside instead of more to the athleticism of getting a step and going over. So this has the makings of a great game tonight.
Yes, it
does. Already is. In the first quarter, 1 minute and a half left, 11-10. Both teams trying to establish what they want, their dominance on their strengths. What a great game.
Provo ties McCune. Ty McCune with the pickpocket on Anderson that time. Anderson fouled him immediately. And Anderson will come out of the game with 2 fouls. Provo takes over just down 1. 1:18 left here in the first quarter. And that's going to be called on Hughes. Everyone on the Wasatch bench hoping for the offensive charge, but not giving there. Wasatch with 4 of their starters now with at least a foul, and one of them with 2.
That's one of those things you got to feel out as a player and a coach. Every ref, even every group of refs, is going to call every game different, and they like to try to establish their tone, their stamp on the game early, and so you want to adapt to that and make those adjustments quick so you don't get fouled out or deep into the foul count.
Bricken Bowen checking into the game for Wasatch, giving Magnuson a rest, and that's a turnover. That's a 3rd turnover now, and the 3rd turnover now for Provo. Both teams with a few turnovers here in the first quarter. With 30 seconds left, Wasatch going to set up for a last shot.
I would assume so.
Although last shot
Maybe
for
not.
Wasatch, beautiful dish play there.
Well executed.
Yeah, Hughes drives and finds Windsor.
And that's kind of what I mentioned earlier. If the help is going to come, if you can find that extra guy.
There's the replay. Beautiful, beautiful pass down low. Provo with another.
Just off the mark.
Provo kind of did what they needed there. They had an open look down to 2 seconds.
Yeah. They got a good look at it. Just didn't bounce away.
Here's the replay of that last shot. Beautiful.
Oh, that's that 3 earlier we were talking about. He could play inside out, guards.
McKay Robert had a good look.
Take a minute here to thank some of our sponsors we're starting to pick up. We appreciate them. Labor and Ford, Mountainland One Stop, my favorite lunch spot, and of course Dairy King. Can't beat the shakes.
We certainly appreciate the sponsors here in Heber City at Sting TV.
If you're interested in sponsoring and helping our program out, just get a hold of me. Go to WasatchStingTV.com and hit the request button and let me know. I'll answer that. We can use all the help, and we'd love to bring better service and better equipment and things to make the game better for you.
We appreciate you joining us here on Sting TV. Once again, Brent Martindale with Corey Lang. Corey Lang is the director, as we mentioned, of Sting TV. And the guys and girls running the cameras tonight. Great job, everybody. As we begin the second quarter tonight, Wasatch up 13-10. Jackson Anderson leading the Wasps at the moment, 7 points. Although on the bench at the moment with 2 fouls. On the floor for Wasatch is Wonder, Hughes, Brecken Bowen, Josh Sanders coming in, along with Garrett Windsor. Probably the lowest, smallest lineup of the night we might see. Brecken Bowen, the lone big guy right now.
He had a great JV game. He was my JV guy of the game. Just played really well both ends, and he hustled up and down the floor. And so I can see why coaches would want to get him in early in this game.
Brecken Bowen listed as 6'3". And the pass inside to Brecken Bowen, and he's going to get fouled. Only the second team foul for Provo. Provo went the entire first quarter with only 1 foul. Wasatch not bad with only 4.
Yeah.
Wasatch will take out underneath. Bowen, beautiful soft jumper.
Yeah, picking up right where he left off. Feeling confident.
Brecken Bowen making Provo now going to have to come out on him. The Bulldogs taking over down 3, 15-12. I'm pretty sure I remember Ty McCune last year watching the games. And there's a beautiful 3-pointer. That time by Lincoln Johnson coming off the bench for the Bulldogs. Ties this game at 15. Corey Lang, you mentioned the team's very similar.
Yeah, they're playing very similar here both ways. Offensive, they like to drive, kick. And defensively, they like to bring an extra guy to try to put pressure and run up the floor.
And there's the
Nice shot.
Scoring leader for Provo, Isaac Castagneto, averaging 23 points a game. That's his first bucket of the night.
Now, his younger brother Aaron played in the JV game and had 3 or 4 threes. Just smooth-looking shooter. And so I anticipate, I was looking forward to seeing him light up the varsity game here.
Castagneto almost looked completely surprised that he was so wide open there. But
see, that's one of those 50-50 ones. Colin Hughes got away a little shove off, but there might have been contact just before. So
I was 50-50 wondering if it was going to go offensive defense. Yeah.
There was definitely arm extension by Colin, but ref might have saw something just before that he wanted to stop that play with.
That drive by Hughes, just exactly what Coach Lang talking about. Wasatch wanting to drive and dish, either finding the spot. There's another down low.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of slapping is what it looked like.
Right. There's 4 guys around you. You got to turn your head and assess the situation.
So that's a second three-pointer just in the last minute for Lincoln Johnson.
Feeling good, and they have right reason to be.
That is a 6-0 run.
Let's look at that shot again.
Run.
Over the big man, Magnuson.
Almost identical from the one just a minute ago by Johnson.
Yeah.
And again, Johnson coming off the bench. So Johnson providing 2 3-pointers.
And he played in that JV game. And I think he hit a shot, that I remember, but nothing really that jumped out. Boy, maybe he was saving himself for the later game. Those are great shots, and Wasatch just can't afford to give them those open looks.
Yeah, wide open.
If they're going to be shooting like that, it's going to be a long night for Wasatch.
I'm just going to mention Ty McCune for Provo coming down easily not only saw Johnson open. That's a nice look. Nice replay there. Cool as ice. 6-0 run now. That 3 by Windsor was the last score for Wasatch. Since then, Provo on a 6-0 run. 21-15 now with the lead. Wasatch will take over. And lots of motion. That is a man defense, it looks like, for Provo. Windsor, great drive. Oh, just misses soft off the glass.
They did a good job of getting the positions they wanted and got the ball to a good look.
Castagneto with a great drive, but that looked like that was blocked that time by Magnuson.
Yeah, great block by Magnuson.
Beautiful pass down low. Brecken Bowen. His second bucket here in the second quarter.
Well, that's one of those ones I'd like to see Isaac on that takedown this end. Take it more to the rim instead of fading out to the corner. Cole, it's an easier block for a big man like Magnuson to get a hand when you're fading away.
Castagneto takes the 3 just off the glass.
He's frustrated with himself.
Again, looking like they were going to fast break, but pulling it back. 4:23 left here in the first half. Wasatch down 17-21.
There's the help
getting the ball down to Brecken Bowen. I'm impressed with Bowen getting open.
He's got a definite size advantage with his matchup right now. I mean, if I'm Wasatch, I'm posting him up much earlier and getting him to that spot on the right side because he likes the right drop step better.
That foul called on Johnson, Lincoln Johnson, who hit the 2 3-pointers, and already his second foul here in this second quarter. He's going to come out. Nope, sorry, not Johnson coming out. It's going to be McCune coming out. And Camargo, the 6'7" Camargo coming back in. Bowen hits the first, 18-21. Wasatch down 3. Bowen just misses the second.
A good board and clear by Provo there.
Provo, again, Lincoln Johnson staying in the game. That's a drive this time by Joseph Larby.
Boy, that was a nice take, right through a lot of traffic.
Castagneto scoring again.
Nice body control. Yeah, both teams playing very, very similar, bringing the bigs out and then trying to slice off cutters or kick it to a shooter.
Three-pointer by Hughes, no good. Provo pushing it quickly. Wasatch needing to get down quickly, and they stop the fast push, and Provo will reset. And there's a fancy move for Kay Robert.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need height. It's a game of position and pace, and you put yourself in the right. There's that weak side not coming.
Beautiful pass.
Yeah, Provo seems to be content to front with no help or just sit behind. Either way, it's going to be trouble if you're going to give that post the feed that they want. Unless you can hit a lot of threes.
Right.
Not much matters at that point. But, ooh, great anticipation.
Castagneto with the steal and bucket. 27-20, the lead grows to 7. Three-point attempt, good, right down the pipe. Jackson Anderson. Anderson now with 10 points. 2:26 left in the first half. And there is a drive again, Castagneto.
Yeah, they've got Wasatch a little bit flustered right now. And one thing that I've seen from Wasatch where they do really well is when they take, and this is what I'm talking about. Right now, Provo is taking the game to Wasatch. They're being the aggressor and taking it at it. Wasatch is a little bit behind, and Provo's beating them to that spot. Where we see Wasatch do really well is when they anticipate and they bring the tempo on defense. Right now, they're not able to match the tempo that Provo is bringing on the offensive end with their defense. Offensively, Wasatch needs to be deliberate, patient.
There's the drive by Castagneto.
Yeah, see, there's no way a guy like that drives through 3-4 guys and nobody step in front and stop that ball. You got guys in position.
Same pipe play there by Roberts.
3 guys, great ball control, great hands. They're finishing and doing really well. Wasatch has got to step in front, stop that ball with penetration.
McKay Roberts for Provo already with 7 points tonight. His season average is 3.9. And that's hard to believe. He looks very comfortable, very smooth. Timeout, of course, called there, this time by Wasatch. And on the floor for the Wasp coming out of the timeout is Wonder, Bowen, Magnuson, Windsor, and Hughes. I like this lineup with Bowen and Magnuson in there. That's
Bowen can bring it out a little bit. I'd love to see them go a high-low with Bowen and Magnuson.
Provo Bulldogs matching. There's an open 3 for Hughes, just off the mark.
Hughes.
Magnuson reaching up, and they're going to call that foul on Provo.
I'm not sure about that.
That's Joseph Larby. Larby and the coaches at Provo also a little confused.
He's asking too. What? I saw Magnuson get a hand on the ball, and maybe it was contact on him when he did that.
Yeah, maybe at the rebound.
Yeah.
Windsor back into the game for Wasatch. So you have Bowen.
Bowen's got the position he wants.
Yeah, he's calling for it, isn't he?
Yeah. And right now the help would be Isaac.
There's the dish down low to Bowen. Bowen just fighting. Seems like he's getting battered.
And the ref has given a warning to the Provo bench right now. They're getting a little antsy and fired up in this as well.
I got to say, I love that, though.
I know. And that's what you ask, for your team. There's just an unawareness of Madison. On an inbound, you can
let
get
it go
that.
Past the half court.
He was thinking he had to save that and gave up one. Just an unfortunate.
Yeah, great hustle play.
Bad snap.
Hard in the right place there for sure.
Yep.
Provo scores, Castagneto.
Capitalize on the mistakes. There's a great take by Wonder.
Beautiful drive by Wonder. They're always coming off the bench and providing a great spark for Wasatch. Wasatch down 25-31, a minute 15 left in this half.
Quick half.
It has gone quickly. There's only 8 fouls that have been called total by both teams.
Not a lot of stops.
Provo not afraid to let the clock run
Juan's
down.
got some position. Finds the shooter.
Great dish out. That's McCune. Beautiful under the basket. Reverse shot. No good.
What a dime.
Camargo gets his own board. Second offensive rebound. 45 seconds now.
Another block
by Magnuson. Open three for Johnson. No good. And Wasatch comes down. 37 seconds left.
In my opinion, Wasatch got a little lucky there.
5 shots by Provo.
You can't give up that many boards and possessions.
3 offensive boards and 5 shots, yeah.
And it seemed like every shot was what they wanted. They were slicing and getting the shot. Getting that kick out, getting the shot they wanted.
Hughes coming out. Castagnetto coming way out on him.
They've got the double screen
and
set.
Castagnetto gets the steal and the foul.
The timeout, I believe, by the coach.
Before the foul, okay.
He wants to get a play drawn up and get a bucket to go in the half.
Timeout called by Provo. They have 11 seconds when they inbound the ball. Looks like they'll inbound.
There's that turnover on the inbound where he's able to convert at the other end. Gives them a little advantage there. Yeah, not a lot of fouls. 8 fouls total between the two.
We mentioned Castagnetto among the state leaders in scoring, 23.3 points a game. Also up in the steals per game, and we saw that right there. A great athlete, great hands. And you know, you mentioned this a couple weeks ago, Corey. Provo 0-3, but all the teams in this region are tough. Yeah. Everyone is tough.
Nothing's a gimme.
Provo hungry. They're gonna want to win really badly. And right now they're feeling it. They are very confident. As you mentioned a minute ago, Wasatch looks half a step behind sometimes.
Yeah, they haven't quite figured out the pace or the sync that they want. Right?
Here comes Provo. 5 seconds on the clock. Wasatch coming way out. Castagnetto, quick shoot. And almost got what they wanted.
Yeah, he was setting up that screen on the weak side. Skip got the shooter, and just off the mark.
I would say both teams had what they wanted there. Wasatch did play tough defense. They came out, took a 3 away very quickly, and didn't leave anything easy for Provo.
That was a tough possession. You force them to one side, keep the ball there. They've got to try to throw a skip pass across, which is dangerous, right? Because if we get a hand there, there's just enough time. You could, shoot one and throw up a prayer at the other end. But so well defended, and well executed on Provo. They got the shot that they wanted. They got the guy they wanted there.
Provo is going to take a 31-25 lead into halftime. We're going to let you hear now the drill team. The drill team's going to perform for you. After that, toward the end, we will talk just a little bit about the first half, some stats. Thank you again for joining us here on Sting TV.
No, I'll be too nervous.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Wasatch High School cheerleaders. They have a two-year GPA average of 3.7 performing their palm routine. Under the leadership of Chris Chill, Christine Puck, as the former carryover and Allison Russell.
And welcome back, everybody, to Wasatch High School. This is Sting TV. This is Wasatch boys hosting the Provo Bulldogs in Region 8 action. Just about to start the second half. Brent Martindale here with Corey Lang. Corey, let's talk a little bit about the first half for both teams.
Second half kind of second quarter, sorry, got away a little bit from Provo. Or let me restart.
You're good.
Second quarter got a little bit away from Wasatch there. Provo was able to dictate the pace and the tempo that they wanted, and which is generally fine. And Wasatch likes that style, but for some reason that second quarter they weren't able to match it and find that same pace with Provo.
So it wasn't just them hitting threes, which they hit a few. It was just a whole pace.
Well, yeah, I think it was the pace. It was them being way more aggressive, cutting through the lane and getting their shots first from the key, and then they're popping them out to the open shots when Wasatch would start to collapse, and that's why those threes could start falling. You have a little more time.
Isaac Castagneto for Provo leading with 9 points, the Bulldogs, but two other players, Camargo and Robert,
behind him.
With 7, and then you have Johnson hitting 2 3-pointers. So you have 5 players with 6 or more points. Let's talk about the second half as we're getting underway here. Looks like Provo will get the ball first. What do the teams need to do here in the second half?
Wasatch has got to find a way to match the tempo or dictate the tempo. And the easiest way to do that can be on offense sometimes. You bring the ball and then you deliberately burn a couple of seconds and settle them down. As there's a great look. Oh, and he gets a kick out.
2 opportunities by Castagneto.
Yeah.
It looked like what I saw there was Provo giving up 2 other shots to let Castagneto shoot.
They want to get him rolling for sure. And Wasatch, see, right now they're trying to, it's like when 2 heavyweights go at it and they just start throwing punches at each other.
Gotcha.
Who's going to hit the hardest or who's going to fall down first is kind of how it feels. And right now, Wasatch is taking the blows. They're not able to get they've got to find a way, take a little momentum off of Provo by backing it out, get composure, now get what you want right here, and you get a bucket. Now you've dictated, okay, now we're in control of the game. That's what I feel like they need to do. Get a couple of possessions where they are in control.
Big 3-point shot. That feels really good. Whoever's massaging my shoulders, holy smokes.
But there, I feel like, that's throwing one up there, and it falls into Provo's game right at this point. You get them taking a long shot, and that's what Provo seems to be doing right here. They're very deliberate in their possession, and they got the look that they wanted. Almost a put down oop there on the weak side.
That looked like that was planned, wouldn't you say?
I mean, it was for sure. That was drawn up. First play coming out. Let's run this.
Okay.
And they're looking to cap that, blow up their fan section, and steal the momentum out of this gym.
Minute and a half into this third quarter, neither team has scored yet. There's Roberts. Roberts had a great first half for Provo. And there's an open look. He's giving up the open 3.
Yeah, and they're not even going to come out. They're baiting him.
It's not going to let
And I've seen him. Yeah, he hit one earlier.
Yeah, he hit one earlier.
So that's a very interesting tactic. I've done that. I've seen that in games many times. Provo's got to come up with something. Well, what are we going to do in this situation? Obviously, Wasatch has made an adjustment, and they're forcing the hand of Provo in that. What is Provo going to do?
3-point attempt.
To make Wasatch go back to the drawing board.
3-point attempt by Windsor, no good. Still, neither team score here has scored in this third quarter. Almost a pick there by Anderson off of Roberts. Roberts caught with the ball, almost got a 5 count. Provo driving. Castagneto handing it off, and there's Roberts again. Beautiful drive. He gave up the 3-pointer that time and drove for the bucket. First bucket of the second half here. Anderson with the shot. Windsor with the offensive board. Goes up, misses another offensive board.
That looked like a jump ball. He had his hand right on top of it, but man, the effort that Windsor's putting in.
Yeah, just awesome there. Great hustle points by Windsor. He's going to get some free throws out of that when he catches his breath. Wasatch down 25-33. And that would equal the largest lead of the night for Provo. Windsor hits the first. Windsor hits both. And he has 5 points for the night. Correction, 6 points for the night.
See,
a very nice run play there.
Provo's getting the pace, the tempo, the aggressiveness that they want. Wasatch has got to find a way, whether it's defense or offense, they have to become the aggressor. These refs aren't calling a whole lot. They're letting a lot go, and the calls they are making are kind of sporadic. So that's a perfect opportunity to get aggressive and go to the hole, go to the rim. Defensively, take some risks and some chances on playing on a ball because they might not call it.
The basket there by the Bulldogs by McGillivray. His first bucket of the night, and that's forced Coach Ballstead to call a timeout. 4:48 left here in the third quarter. Wasatch down to 8, 27-35. We're going to see that last couple of plays there. Robert gave up that three-pointer for that drive bucket. And again, that's how the first half started, was McKay Roberts scoring a couple buckets of the first half. And that's basically what is looking like here now, besides that last bucket by McGillivray. The bucket by McGillivray is first of the night, as we mentioned. Once again, looking on the scoreboard, Wasatch is led by Jackson Anderson with 10 points. Windsor has 6. For Provo, Castagnetto leading the team with 9 points, but McKay Roberts also with 9 points, and Camargo with 7. Here's Wasatch, as Coach Corey Lang mentioned, needing a bucket here, needing a bucket and a stop. Windsor handling the ball up top. He's going to drive, and he gets bumped and blocked. Camargo, 6'7", swatting that away. Also into the game for Wasatch right now, Joe Wonder has come in.
Sorry, we're having a little difficulties with our scoreboard right now. It looks like they got unplugged down there at the table, so we're sending somebody down to apologize. But that is 35-27 with 4.5 to go here in the third.
Corey, your crew's doing a great job. We'll do verbal scores for you until that comes back. I imagine it will be back up any minute. While we're talking a little bit about the teams, Wasatch had a couple of players come off the bench in that first half. One of them, Joe Wonder, scored a couple of buckets. The other was Brecken Bowen. Bowen coming in, the junior, 6'3" junior, came in, immediately made an impact, couple of rebounds and a couple of buckets, and changed the defense for Provo. Wasatch with a turnover there. Provo will take over, up 8. There's Camargo. He's going to drive hard, dishes it off, and Wasatch gets the turnover. And a quick pass. Hughes going to kick it back out, and Wasatch will reset.
See here where they front Magnuson? Oh, keep him in the post. They got a mismatch on him, and the guy was going to front the post on him.
Wow. Joe Wonder.
Joe says, I got you. I'll get this one for you.
That was visions of John Stockton.
Yeah.
If many of you don't know John Stockton out there, of course, because you're not as old as me. Camargo takes a shot from the top of the key. No good, but Provo comes up with there's a wide open 3 for Robert.
A lot of
Camargo
pressure in
with
the paint.
another offensive board. And Provo's passing around. They get it back down to Camargo.
They're not going to double. So,
with a little hand in his face, maybe enough.
Yeah.
And Wasatch comes out with it.
And that's great. Magnuson held his position, kept it, made the Provo player, made Isaac make a play over him, and at that time he didn't do it. So
Hughes, big drive.
Great little scooping under there.
Hughes brings Wasatch within 4, 35-31.
I see a little difference in Wasatch now. You can see there's a little more bounce in their step. There's a little bit more confidence in what they're doing.
Castagnetto with a Euro move.
Yeah, he got the step, but
three by Jackson Anderson, no good. But Wasatch fights for the board. They start over again. On the floor, the starters, the original starters, except for Joe Wonder. Hughes is going to take a jump back, has the ball swatted away, and Wasatch is going to let it run out of bounds and take the ball out. Brecken Bowen will check back into the game for Wasatch. Going to give Cole Magnuson, give the big guy a rest. As we mentioned, Bowen came in, had a very effective first half, Corey.
yeah, he's had a great day.
Coach Lang mentioned Bowen had a fabulous JV game and came right in without missing a beat to help Wasatch with that first. Windsor is going to drive, and looks like he's going to get fouled, but it's going to be before the shot.
See, that's just being more aggressive, and you're going to get that call out of it. And sometimes when your offense is kind of slumping, that getting a foul is a victory.
Foul was charged to Ty McCune of Provo. The scoreboard showing that's Ty's first foul. Bowen fighting to get open. He's got Castagnetto on him. Three-pointer.
Garrett Windsor looks them both off and says no.
I think what
I
looked like there was Bowen coming down, trying to post up, and it made his defender, Windsor's defender step off just a little bit and left an open spot.
You're right on.
Camargo almost loses it. Provo shooting around, step there. There's a bump and drive by Roberts, and
refs
he's
let
going
him play on.
Miss that. Bowen almost gets the board over the 6'7" Camargo.
Another good board. Yeah, Brecken anticipated, but he was a little slow in getting there.
Just a second late.
The idea was there. The execution was just a little bit slow.
Foul's going to be charged to Bowen. And I believe that'll be Bowen's third foul. Correction, that's his first foul. Castagnetto for Provo will shoot two. Makes the first, 10 points on the night for him. We talked about Isaac Castagnetto was one of the state leaders in points per game, 23.3 average. And on his way tonight to come close to that average. 11 points. Castagnetto makes both. Juan Camargo is going to come off. Looks like he's limping.
Yeah, a little bit. With about a little over a minute left, it's a great time to give a guy like that a break, because with the quarter break, that time will, a minute game time could be 5-10 minutes, from the bench. That's a crucial turnover there.
Yeah, tough call there. Bowen got it, was ready to post. He was ready to post up. And
see, it feels like this bout has swapped a little bit.
Okay.
Now the Provo's a little bit weak in the knees, and let's see if they regroup, get themselves composed, and get the shot they want. Great look.
That was McCune starting the play. Dish to Robert. Robert dished it to Larby. Larby had a wide open look and missed it. Just a little small miscommunication there with Wasatch.
But I like they feel like they're forcing a little, not forcing it, but pushing it a little bit, right? Pushing the ball, pushing the tempo, pushing the game to where they want it to be.
Provo takes over with a 3-point lead, 37-34. 40 seconds left here. There's a 3-point attempt.
I thought they might go for a last shot.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too. That was Johnson, who hit a couple of threes early.
Yes. Brecken's got a mismatch in the post, but the help comes over and refs play on.
Brecken Bowen.
Like I said, they're letting them play very, very physical tonight, both sides. So
yeah, it looked like there was a little bump on the board, not the shot so much.
Yep. And you just got to make those adjustments and understand now they're definitely going to go last shot.
Provo down to 8 seconds on the clock. And there's Roberts, wide open three. No good. Bowen 2 seconds on the clock. We'll have a 3/4 court shot. And it
Comes
actually
just
looked like it
short.
was on line, but
Yeah.
no good. Wasatch is going to survive that with a 34-37 deficit. Yeah, that's Roberts there, McKay Roberts.
Taking it on two defenders, getting that little floater right over the top of big Cole Magnuson.
This
And
is that
Joe
John Stockton
Wonder.
play by Joe Wonder. Love that. Wasatch.
With his Grinch shoes.
And I would think, who would you say there was the best survivor of that that third quarter of the two teams?
That quarter, the scorecard would go to Wasatch. I feel like they came out and matched. They have now shifted it to their game, and Provo's trying to fill it now.
Plays like that one there from Hughes.
It's a give and take. You want to push your team. You want them running when you can, but when it's not, you want to pull back. You want to be in control however the game is going. Fast, slow, inside, outside. Right now, I feel like the momentum and the control is shifted over to Wasatch, even though the score still has Provo on top at the end of the third.
Wasatch comes within 3. Coach Lang, what does Wasatch need to do now?
Be aggressive.
Here in the fourth quarter.
Be physical. They have one team foul that quarter. They're 3 on Provo. The refs are letting them play. Just be aggressive. Defensively, trap, come at them. You don't have to get a steal. You just have to make them turn it over. Offensively, not saying just take the ball and run at the rim, but run your sets with purpose and be aggressive at going to it.
Wasatch is going to get the ball, but there's going to be a
foul
called on.
It looks like
that was 6'7" Camargo on the floor, diving. Boy, you'd love to see that. On the floor for Wasatch, Brigham Pello, played a little bit in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's in the game with Anderson, Wonder, and Hughes. And then Breckenbowen manning the center position.
Breckenbowen's getting the match. He wants in there.
Provo in a zone now. Maybe that makes it a little tougher for the.
They're sinking the weak side down to take away that Breckenbowen lob. If Wasatch can be patient, they can catch him off or catch the shooter where the.
Wow, beautiful drive again by Joe Wonder. Yeah. There was a great block there, but apparently looks like they're going to call the foul. Yeah, they ended up calling the foul on Camargo.
Yeah, I think they could have taken the pick of 3 guys that were all blocking that shot. But Joe, credit to Joe being aggressive, going to the rim, and he's really grown up over the last 3 games.
I would think so. He's always come in and giving great energy.
Yeah. But without Hawk being here tonight, Joe has kind of filled that spot and that role of taking over here.
The 2 free throws by Wonder brings Wasatch to within 1. The lead was 10. That time Anderson takes the charge.
He was there a long time anticipating. It's so hard for me because there isn't a circle
right
in high school that
hard to know.
Man, it's hard to know. I wish they'd put it down just so that there was a visual, that was an expectation.
Yep.
I've seen kids just stand directly under the net and get an offensive foul call because I like to give the offensive players some right to the hoop, but in that case, it was obviously a charge. He got there.
Camargo was charged with the offensive foul. So in the last 30 seconds, holy smokes.
Joe Wonder. Man, he's looking good. He's taking another step, another level this fourth quarter.
Wonder 4-0 run on Provo gives Wasatch the lead, 38-37. There's another great drive.
Oh, and he matches.
That time by Lincoln Johnson. So we're talking about the story here of bench players coming off. Here's Wonder. This is his first one earlier. That was a fantastic drive.
Just beating him off the curl to the rim.
Both players for Provo right now coming off the bench and making a difference. That time, Lincoln Johnson providing the smooth layup to give them. Here's Johnson. He's going to just do a little head fake left.
Yep, look away.
And
just enough
defenders.
hesitation. That's the pace, you know. You're looking away, get him to look. And a scoop underhand there with the right.
Both Johnson and Wonder for the two teams, juniors. And great futures looking up for both teams here.
Yeah. Now, Provo's got, I'm looking at this situation right now. Provo's got 6 fouls. Wasatch has 1. If you're Wasatch, again, take advantage of that. Get to the line, get some guys out. If you can be aggressive and get even just a 1-point lead, that's huge. But if you get down to 3 minutes and you still only have 1 foul and you're down, it's going to start to be tricky because then you start running into, well, if we got to start fouling, we got to get the bonus. This is more time that's going to burn off to do that. And then the clock becomes your enemy even more so.
Yeah, Wasatch with that team foul advantage right now.
Yeah.
6-1 team fouls, as Coach Lang mentioned.
Provo called this timeout, so I'm curious to see what adjustments he's trying to make here in the last 6 minutes.
Looking like they're in a man defense now. Maybe that's to stop Wonder a little bit more.
Yeah, just stop a guy getting in the seams.
Beautiful shot, no good.
Good
board. Neto with the board.
Chins it, looks down the court.
6 minutes left in this game. Provo with the ball up 1, 39-38. Provo has, the Bulldogs have had kind of a tough season with, and there's going to be a foul there, I believe, on Magnuson. Nope, they're going to call it on Windsor.
Again, I didn't see much contact in that.
Windsor, that's his second. 9 points for the night.
But I think that's what we've talked about before. I swear refs will look up at the clock and see that foul count as well. And
maybe that's a makeup foul, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I got to even this up. They'll never say that, but.
And there's a steal attempt.
Colin
Big
Hughes.
play by Hughes. Castagneto not paying enough attention. I want to say players did that earlier. Castagneto did the same thing to Hughes in the first half.
Yeah. Both great ballers.
5:23 left. Provo ran off 40 seconds just with that last possession.
Who's going to control?
Beautiful inside move there by Larby. It comes off the rim, and Wasatch takes over. Still 39-38. No team has scored now
Windsor
for about
waving
a minute and a half.
Calling through.
Wasatch looking down low to Windsor. Windsor's going to post move. Just up and under, kicks out. There's a wide open three for Jackson Anderson. In and out. Windsor with the offensive board. And Wasatch will reset.
Found the shooter, wide open that you wanted. It just rimmed out. There's Cole with the position. They're fronting him in the post. Their weak side is really slow to get there. As Cole's saying, throw that ball up. Let me go get it. Give me a chance.
And they had looks like a referee meeting. And the meeting made that come back to Wasatch. Another almost pass. Once again, that's a lot of player right there. 6'7" Camargo all over the place.
Yeah,
you know, when they're 6'7" in height, they probably have a 6'7" wingspan as well. Wasatch is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, they had a couple of shots here where it kind of just got away. They didn't turn it over.
Almost.
But Coach Ballstead wants to make sure, okay, let's get composed. Let's get a good inbound, a good play here, and I'll get a bucket.
Now, as a non-basketball coach, Corey, it just looked to me like Wasatch on those inbound plays, or the two plays, people weren't moving enough. It's like they weren't getting open. So the only pass looked like it had to be a lob in.
The timing was a little off on it. And part of that is the guy taking the ball out of bounds will usually stand inbounds until he sees all of his teammates set in the positions that he wants and make sure that they're looking. Again, there's that scoop.
Yeah, that's Johnson. Johnson has been big off the bench for Provo tonight.
Refs sometimes don't like you doing that.
Oh,
they
really?
want to be in control of the game. They don't like you dictating when we're going to start this inbound.
I guess I have seen that where a ref just puts the ball on the ground. And
so sometimes, like in that situation, you'll see them get out, step out, get them. And that's where the timing can kind of get off because the rest of the team is waiting and thinks that they have that time to get composed with the balls coming in. And
the whole point of it is the person calling the inbound play, he just kind of wants to make sure. Okay, so he's got to do it quick. Wasatch will take the ball out at their own bench.
So they should have something drawn up. Coach Ballstead has got something in his pocketbook that he's given them.
Down to Windsor.
And there it is. Garrett Windsor, great look.
The look they wanted.
They're trying to post Windsor up quite a bit. The last few times down the floor, I've seen him where he'll wave him through, and then he comes off a screen to the post. And on that inbound was directly right for him in the post again.
Windsor plays big for his 6'1" frame.
Yeah, they must seen something in film that they like. That's a great three by Johnson again. That kid is...
Third three-pointer of the night for Johnson, besides a couple of layups as well.
And that's a big shot, pushing it from a 1-point lead to a 4 in the fourth quarter. Garrett Windsor keeping that one alive.
Three-pointer by Hughes, just off the mark. Wasatch getting the looks they want. There's a steal by Magnuson, and he will get fouled.
Yeah, that's Mag just making a play. Kind of that was a little bit of luck being in the right spot. When he turns into you, there's the ball.
The extra hustle play here. That's the
there's
big,
that
sweet three-pointer by Johnson.
Hanging that form, hand in the cookie jar. Follow-through is great on that shot.
Camargo's been charged with his 4th personal foul. At least it's supposed to be. I thought he had 3 before.
I thought so.
And it's not showing on the board yet. Magnuson sinks the first. Provo now in the 1-1 bonus for the rest of the game for the next 4 minutes. Wasatch only with 2 fouls in this entire second half.
We'll see how that plays out, which is interesting because I feel like Wasatch has been way more aggressive the second half. I don't know if you agree.
Seems like it. Seems like it.
It feels like they came out and tried to take that up a notch.
I would think.
And they're getting the calls.
I would think it seems like Provo, their shooting percentage has gone way down in the second half.
Yes, and I think I credit Wasatch's defense taking it up that notch, forcing more difficult shots like that. That he didn't get an open layup look. He had to step through offside, get caught under the rim, and that's a more difficult shot. First half, those were layups.
Yeah. And you kind of almost expected McKay Roberts to make that shot, but still. Provo will take the ball out underneath. Windsor was charged with his 3rd foul. Neither team really in foul trouble, although Camargo did come off. So we do have some confusion if he has 3 or 4 fouls.
They've got a mismatch somewhere with Magnuson guarding the guard there.
Beautiful play by McCune.
And the refs
looking like
say it's
coaches, clean. Coach Johnson for Provo pleading for the contact there. And as you mentioned, boy, refs just kind of letting them play. Wasatch will take over down 2, 40-42.
This is a big possession. If Wasatch can tie or take the lead, they could start to dictate the rest of the game. And now you're just under 3 with a 2 down, and again, that foul count, it goes against you right now.
Provo has the luxury of playing back.
And this is what they're going to load the baseline, clear it out, make Wasatch start to come out. They don't have to shoot with no shot clock in Utah high school basketball. The clock is their friend at this point.
Shot no good by Johnson.
See, I would make them come out and foul me. Burn it. They got 4 fouls they have to give before they get in.
Hughes is going to go up.
Wow. Again, another one.
Ball taken from him.
Let them play. Coach Ballstead is upset about that.
Both coaches.
But I feel like it's very balanced that way. And the refs.
The foul count 7-3. Every foul that Provo makes now will be shots. Wasatch still has a few to give before a bonus.
Yeah, just be patient. Wasatch, now you got to start to take some gambles. What are you going to do?
Yeah, Wasatch coaches calling them out. There's McKay.
See, in the first half, Magnuson was able to play off him and bait him to just shoot that. In this case, you can't do that because he'll just stand there for 2 minutes. So Magnuson has to come out. There's a Roberts. McKay Roberts sees that and takes him to the hole. And I think that's what they were hoping in the first half would happen, but Wasatch smartly just played off, baited him into the shoot.
Yep.
Magnuson comes out, now taking him to the hole. 4 points, minute 41, sorry.
1 minute, 41 seconds left in this game.
Yeah,
Wasatch down.
if I'm Provo, I'm just holding the ball and making them foul me because each foul is going to be more time.
McKay Roberts.
If I'm Wasatch, you want to get a quick bucket, a good bucket. So you got a timeout situation, the benefit of draw up your big hitter play. It doesn't have to be a 3 at this point. A 2 is just as good.
That timeout called by Provo after the shot.
Yeah.
So obviously talking about what they want to do.
And that leaves them with 1.
They only have 1 team timeout left in this game. Okay.
Yeah. That could come down.
That bucket was made by McKay Robert of the Bulldogs.
That's okay if you're ahead, right? But if you're down, you need that timeout.
Yes.
So if Wasatch can flip the table here, that could come to burn Provo without a timeout in the last minute.
Wasatch has received spirited play from several players tonight. Joe Wonder off the bench.
We're getting an explanation. The Provo coach was trying to get a player in, and they weren't. Yeah, they're not going to let him in because maybe they are. They are, they're not. They are, they aren't.
So it was Camargo that was originally supposed to come in.
But he wasn't at the table before the break, and so
now Camargo will have to wait till the next dead ball. And there's a quick drive.
That's what you're looking for.
Basket counts.
Clear it, aggressive, and an and one situation is the best situation you can ask right there.
Beautiful drive there by Jackson Anderson. Oh, you can see that play. And that looks like they're going to call it on Roberts.
Ty McCune was there for the help, but he didn't commit.
Gotcha.
If he would have stepped in front of that, he could have taken a charge even, but he halfway committed, let him go. But what a take. And then when it stops the clock, you're going to get another bucket on the board.
Anderson completes the three-point play. Wasatch down 1. This now becomes a different situation for Provo.
Yeah.
Only up 1. Still,
if Wasatch,
hold on to the ball.
There's the foul. See, they got to start to hit these fouls quick to get that bonus situation, because I'm guessing Provo at this point will just dribble the ball out.
They don't have to do anything except take care of the ball.
Yep. There's no shot clock, unfortunately. I would love to see it implemented, but you play with the rules that you have and
Castagneto
take advantage of it. There's the foul by Collin.
Way out, making the foul to stop the clock.
I believe. Well, that's his second, I believe. I don't think any of them are in foul trouble. They just don't have enough fouls to have anybody in trouble.
Right, because they still only with 5 team fouls. Now the idea would be try to get a steal at least first, right?
Yes.
Try to get a steal.
And the possession is Wasatch's favor. If they can get a tie-up, they get the ball without a foul.
Wasatch has.
And where it's 1 point, the tie-up is a victory and a possession.
Wow, quick foul that time.
Let's see if they give him on the shot. Looks like it.
McCune is going to shoot 2.
Now, you don't want to do that if you're Wasatch. If you're going to foul, you don't want to give him free throws.
Then that looked like he kind of was allowed to go. It almost looked like.
Of all the ones they're going to call.
Yes, that one looked a little.
These are big free throws. Really big free throws by Ty McCune. Sinks to first, no problem. They're going to bring in a rebounder and a defender here with Cole Magnuson.
Ty McCune, 2 points for the night.
And none bigger than that one.
His free throw.
And that one.
Will make it a 3-point game. Wasatch 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the game, down 3.
So you don't have to get a 3. If you can get an easy 2 right now, go at them. Get an and 1, but I wouldn't expect it. But a layup and then a foul again is just as good.
Down low to Windsor. He's going to score.
Off the window. Little English.
43
Okay, you got a
seconds
foul.
left in the game. Provo up 1.
You've
It
got a
seems like-
foul.
Seems like
Colin
you'd
knows
wanna-
it.
Seems like you'd want a foul.
Right, Colin's trying to get that.
Yeah.
There's the feed. Garrett Windsor. Love the English off that. Fouled him originally. They didn't call it. The ball kicked back up, and Colin was still holding him, saying, I'm fouling him.
Josh Sanders is going to check it. No, he's not going to check back into the game.
Both coaches trying to figure out how they're going to play this last 34 seconds out.
Wasatch finally
It's a
in
free
the
throw
bonus,
game.
1-1.
Yeah, if Provo makes their free throws, they've got it.
Camargo at the line, shooting for Provo. Sinks the first. Camargo 6'7", and as you can see, a lefty. And a nice shot.
Ice in the veins. Very calm, collected shooter there.
34 seconds left in this game. Different atmosphere here in the nest for sure. Students here.
Yeah, and that's
Off
where I
the
think the
rim.
students come in. That noise.
Wasatch now only needs a bucket to tie.
Don't foul if you're Provo. Just contest.
And that's down low.
Timeout by Ballstead before.
Oh, no. Oh,
Then you can see the
no.
look on his face like,
Oh,
Ah.
no.
did I really do that?
I want to say.
Now you're going to hear me?
Now I'm going to say I saw this happen one time last year. I'm pretty sure
Yep.
the same thing happened. Unfortunately.
Oh, the execution. Colin got the look. And
We
you can
have
tell,
that
like,
replay. We could show that.
you have that.
That was Anderson being very patient there at the top of the key, as you saw. And as he found a wide open Windsor underneath.
Hughes, Colin Hughes was underneath the low.
Is that who it was? It was Hughes.
Which, yeah, is a money man.
And right as he threw the pass,
Let's see that.
Coach Ballstead, you can see over to your right, Ballstead
Saying something to the ref.
makes the
There's the
pass, and he
feed.
must have just said something to him because he didn't motion anything.
No.
Very unfortunate. This
But you
would
can
be
see him giving the look after, like, really?
Well, you can't fault coach on that.
Nope.
At that point, it was his prerogative to be able to call a timeout.
You've got a couple to burn,
Yep.
and the ball's up top. They don't have anything set, and so he wants to make sure he gets them into it. Now, we've got some shooters on the floor with Jackson Anderson, Joe Wonder, Colin Hughes, and Garrett Windsor. We've seen Joe Wonder hit a game winner in a JV game earlier.
Really?
Last second at the buzzer.
Okay.
He can do it. Colin Hughes is capable.
Here we go.
Let's see what Provo's.
Wasatch inbounds the ball. 24 seconds left.
Some coaches will foul to give him a one-on-one rather than even a chance at a 3.
Windsor pulls it back. Wasatch is going to go for the tie. Windsor's going to drive and gets fouled. Shot does not go. Windsor will shoot 1-1. Foul.
Yep, they're going to say it's
before
on the
shot.
floor. Interesting. Like I was saying, some coaches will opt for that. They'll burn it down to about 12, 13 seconds, and then they'll purposely foul
First foul,
a
make him
one-on-one instead of letting them even have a chance at a 3 for the win.
shoot. So the scenario here now,
If I'm Provo,
Sanders.
though, I want to get my rebounders in the game.
right now, Camargo, 6'7", on the bench.
Yeah, they just took him out.
Larby, first free throw, no good. And there's an immediate rebound and foul.
Oh, he wishes he had that.
Windsor's free throw directly on line, but just off the front rim.
Yeah, it's going to come to free throws. Like I said, if Provo makes theirs, they got this in the bag.
Provo leading scorer, 23-point average, Isaac Castagneto, at the free throw line for Provo with 9 seconds left. Shooting 1-1. No rebounders for Provo, so if he misses, Wasatch will get the ball, and he sinks
Nice.
the first.
Nice, man. Now Provo missed the second of the one-on-one last time, so it's still a one-possession game right now. If they miss this,
Still a
as
one-possession
they're
game.
pulling defenders back because they don't want to give them the foul or not, right?
Wasatch
They will
calling-
get another possession.
Wasatch calling their last time out to ice Castagneto. What's your experience with this? To me, it just seems like, I mean, I'm a volleyball coach, not a basketball coach, but to me, what I've just done is I've just let him breathe and take a breath.
And you give Provo a free timeout to draw
Yes.
something up.
And that's a hard thing. I mean, I guess icing, though, does that sometimes make him think more?
It does. Depends on the person.
Gotcha.
I don't anticipate that this is going to have much effect
Okay.
on a shooter like him. But it does let them come up with a defensive scheme. Once this goes through, what are you going to do? This allows that defensive coach to then set that and say, we're going to do this, we're not going to do this.
Gotcha.
But Volstead needs an opportunity as well here to give his players something to run, right? He could pull those two guys off the lane now is what he's doing, putting shooters in the corners, spreading the floor.
Castagneto will shoot. Windsor and Anderson, the only rebounders down for either team. Castagneto misses.
He misses it. It's a game.
It is a 3-point game. 6
There's your
seconds,
screen.
5 seconds. Windsor's going to shoot off the front of the rim. No good. And that will be the ball game.
Yeah, you can't expect a call in a situation like that, especially in a game where they haven't called anything throughout, right? Provo, as you can see, just happy to get their region win. On the road is huge. The Nest is a hard place to play, and tonight you got student body fans in the gym. Congratulations, Provo, on a good, solid road region win. Wasatch, that is a hard pill to swallow right now. They've been playing well.
Yeah.
And tonight, I felt like they had it there in the second half. They came out.
Yep.
I felt like they had turned that game.
Down by 12.
Yeah.
At one point, brought it back within 1. Yeah, most definitely that. So you have to look at a couple things. First off, the emotion of Provo there after the game.
Yeah, that's
very emotional.
That's fun
with
to
that
see.
win. And like you say, this is a tough region, even at 0-3. And I would imagine at 0-3, my understanding is they had a couple of games actually postponed because of COVID.
Yes.
So they haven't played quite as many games, and so you'd have to think.
I think they'll win a
pretty
few.
good.
I mean, just look at the team. They've got shooters on the outside. They got a great shooting guard, and they've got some good post play. I mean, they've got the tools that they need, and they've got a great coach that can get it out of them.
Look at this last.
I expect them to
around there. This is
put some wins
Johnson
together
with
here.
one of his 3-3-pointers of the night.
That was a big one too.
Big play. That was there with just a couple minutes left in the game. You know, Corey, you can't put blame on anything, but boy, you can sure look at a couple things. That very unfortunate timeout by by Coach Ballstead. Again, that happens. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
And he's not going to sleep.
Yeah,
well
you can't
tonight.
blame.
Unfortunately, that would have tied the game.
That's one of those times you wish the ref didn't listen to you.
Yeah. Well, we hoping sometime to be able to talk with coaches after the game. I know he's going to be coming up and talking to Ty and Ty for their post game. But let's just recap the last couple minutes. Wasatch loses. Lost the final score there.
48-45.
Oh, yeah, there it is. 48-45. Second half saw Provo go up by as many as 12. Wasatch coming all the way back to be within 1 and would have tied the game with about 40 seconds left when the very unfortunate timeout call by Coach Ballstead, not seeing that the wide open Windsor, did we say it was Windsor? was open, or was it Windsor making the pass?
Hughes, yeah, it was under the basket.
Open. Yeah. And again, that's not going to be something that you can blame anybody for.
No.
But and then, of course, as you mentioned, Provo making the free throws down the road.
Yeah, it came down to that.
And
It was a free throw game at the end, and they made the ones that they needed. Because if they missed a few of those, and Wasatch makes theirs, it turns the table. And I felt like if Wasatch could have just turned that table, then the timeout situation and then the clock situation totally goes into their favor, and the foul count.
Right.
Because they didn't have any fouls. They could start giving fouls and not give free throws to Provo. So if they could have just turned that table, they could have got it. But
Jackson Anderson for Wasatch led Wasatch with 13 points tonight. Excuse me. Garrett Windsor added 11 off the bench. Again, sixth man of the ward tonight for Wasatch. Joe Stockton Wonder came in 8 points with some very timely drives and buckets. For Provo, 6 players with at least 8 points. 2 of those players off the bench players. I would have to give, to Provo for player of the game. I have to look at their player off the bench, Lincoln Johnson, coming in and really providing a huge spark. Of course, Camargo, 6'7", with 11 points. McKay Robert, senior, averaging 3 points a game, finishing with 11. And a dagger drive there at the end with about a minute and a half left. Just a lot of great stories with all of this. Coach Corey, what's up next?
So we've got Tuesday will be Springville for our boys and our girls, unless they swap games. Last night, for some reason, our girls played on a Thursday night instead of tonight. The Wasatch girls were able to get the win on the road, which is a big win for them in the region.
Great last-second shot.
But next week, we've got Springville and Spanish Fork, it looks like, coming up.
That looks like that's a home game Tuesday night for the boys?
It's showing home, but I know we played Springville here before.
Okay. Gotcha, right, yeah.
That's the one that Springville stole a win here in the nest as well. So Wasatch is going to look for a little revenge and a little, get that game back. And Springville, like we've talked about over and over and over, this region, any night, anybody could do it. So, and then Spanish Fork is having a rough season overall and in the region. I think they're, out of the 29 teams, they're 28, I believe.
Okay.
Right, the only one below them, I think, is East High.
Gotcha.
Over in the Salt Lake district. So,
you're looking at the last minute here or so that we have, last minute or two. Looking at, again, the scorers, Castagneto averaging 23 points a night. I've mentioned it over and over. Only finishing up with 11. And but you have to look on the other end. Wasatch without one of their key starters, Hawk Ballstead, tonight.
Yeah.
And
he brings a lot to the table, a lot of the game. That's a big impact to lose Hawk. Even if he doesn't score, he has an impact on the game.
Defensively, always averaging at least a couple steals a game. And but as we mentioned, Joe Wonder coming in and being able to take some of that load. It was Wonder starting tonight in place of Castagneto, so we called him the sixth man.
Yeah.
We call him the sixth man because he typically is.
Yeah.
So,
and I think he did an absolute wonderful job in the role that he had there tonight.
Once again, the final score, 48-45. Provo coming away with their first region win of the season, and they are looking happy watching them come in. We want to thank everyone for joining us here on Sting TV tonight. We also want to thank our sponsors. Corey, tell us about our sponsors.
Labrum Ford, so much that they do for the community, especially the school district. I can't thank them enough, and a lot of respect for Danny Labrum, what he does with his business and what he does for our schools and our kids. Mountainland One Stop, same thing. So generous with their giving to the schools and helping. And they're their lunch is the best there is, in my opinion. It's so close to school, and for me, it's quick. And Dairy King, of course. If you're coming to Heber, you gotta go to Dairy King, home of the train. Great burger if you haven't had it.
Great shakes.
But their shakes are state award-winning year after year. You gotta get a shake from Dairy
Mine
King.
is the cookie dough.
Yeah?
Chocolate cookie dough.
Wow.
So that's my favorite.
There's so many there. There's a few. If you talk to him and you ask him, I talked to Mr. Menwini once about, what's the secret shake, and he said the coal car was the one to do. It's not on the menu, but
Okay.
if you ask for the coal car, if you like chocolate. Yeah, so those are our 3 sponsors now. We're always looking for more. We'd love the support. We'd love to promote your business in these broadcasts. So please reach out to us if you haven't already heard from one of our Sting TV members here. So,
Well, we want to go ahead and thank you all for joining us on Sting TV. We'd love to hear from you. You can contact Sting TV by their
website is the easiest way.
We'd love to hear your feedback.
TV.
We'd love to hear how we could do better. And Brent Martindale here, Corey Lang, the director of Sting TV. Great job, all you guys and girls out there. We want to thank you all for joining us, and we'll sign off here until next time here at Wasatch High School. Once again, final score Provo 48, Wasatch 45. And we will see you next time here